Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, Bogman, and the Welsh. The On Deck podcast is brought to you commercial-free by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck podcast, your MLB DFS early look preview for the day's slate of action. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know we did. Find me on Twitter at BDentric and my co-host on Twitter at Bogman Sports. He saw 2 baseball games in 3 days. So I think he had a great weekend. So how are you doing, Bogman?
I'm doing good. You know, it was it was a different experience during COVID going to the ballpark, but it was weird. They didn't really care about the mask that much when you got in there. But they did. Like my buddy had his mask on, right? Mm-hmm. But he also had a gator that he brought, but he knew they weren't going to let him use that. And the guy at the gate was like, "You can't wear that." He's like, "I'm not wearing it." He's like, "I have this other mask on my face." So that was a little weird. You know, the lines looked longer than they were because of social distancing. But once you got in the stadium, I mean, it sounded like a normal crowd. You know, I mean, there was a flyover on opening day. You know, it was the normal festivities. So it was very, very nice to get back into the ballpark and see some action.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go deep on a deep golf diatribe. Like the Masters had a crowd there. It sounded amazing to hear the roars. Baseball's been great to have crowds back. Like you were texting me when the Giants on Friday were
it sounded like a full park in there, man. And they only had 9,000.
Yeah, it's like maybe 30%. And I went online Friday to look for tickets for the rest of April because I only sell them a month at a time. There's tickets for every game still. So they're not even selling them out yet, like right away. So it's crazy that just that little bit of fans, like I guess that's how much we missed it, is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's the loudest people are the ones that are going, right? I think that's
pretty much. They're the ones, the diehards. Like we're paying the money, we're going. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm really seriously going to get some tickets. And I think the mask thing, at least one, because it depends on where you're going. But I think it's because some of these places you have to be vaccinated to get in now. Like in California, you have to have a vaccine to get in, basically. Okay. So then it's like, well, according to CDC, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's not the way here because I haven't been able to line mine up yet. So I keep trying, and there's nowhere in my area that has them when I go. You know, I guess one day I'm going to have to wake up at 6 a.m. and get online before they're all gone. So I'm going to have to dedicate an early morning.
I can call you if you want. I can be your alarm clock box. I know. I'm well aware of this by now. Real quick, before we get into the 12-game slate, we almost have the Grand Poobah 15. This is the biggest slate we've had so far to discuss on the show, so that's going to be a blast. But just a real quick recap of the weekend. We talked about earlier, JD Martinez, 3 homers on Sunday. He looks good. Video was important, apparently.
The COVID stuff with him too. It was like he goes on the COVID list, and then the next day, oh nope, here's 3 home runs.
Well, because what it was is like some other guys have had it too, like Garrett Cooper, Hunter Dozier, I think, and some others. It's symptoms from the vaccine, and then they're fine. Yeah. Once they're fine, they can come back. So that's good. Devers is heating up. Your boy Eduardo Escobar. 4 straight games. Four straight games with a bomb. So
he's been looking real nice recently.
Yeah, we saw a nice little Kershaw-Scherzer duel on Sunday. That was good to see. Freddie Freeman's going nuts. The Phillies-Braves put on a Sunday night show.
Controversial play at the plate, too.
Just a bit.
Alec Baum did what I like to call a Matt Holliday and has still not touched that plate. So, I guess a bunch of replays that are making people question why we're even doing replay because they're not getting overturned when they clearly should. So who knows?
As they say on Twitter, reusable tweet.
Yeah. Copy paste. Right.
Yes,
exactly.
It's like, it's never going to work. And the last thing I'll leave with, because I have to get it in while I can, the Giants have won 4 straight. Just good.
Okay. Well, enjoy it.
I am, because I know it won't last long. But let's get into the 12-game slate, because we can sit here and talk. But people, we have other podcasts for that. We're here for the 12-game MLB DFS slate. Go over DraftKings, FanDuel. We talk about the plays we like to get you started on your Monday slate. Also, go check out the LineStar app on the Apple App Store and Google Play. So many cool things there. The chat room that we're a part of from time to time. The lineup optimizer, the values, the stack tools, all kinds of great stuff there. So go check that out. And also give a rate and review of the podcast on iTunes, wherever you listen to it. And check us out on YouTube, on the LineStar YouTube page. Give us a subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And last but not least, I just want to get it all the way now. Go check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB to get you all your goodies there. They give giveaways, swag for the home run calls, $100 gift certificate type deals are just cash money at times. Like, it's crazy. Go check them out. All right. Tongue-tied and all. Here we go. Seattle at Baltimore kicks us off, Bogman. We got Justice Sheffield, Dean Kramer. And I'm going to warn people, there's not totals for all of these games. Actually, I had totals on some of these, and they have now disappeared. The total is 9 in Seattle, Baltimore. And this is one that I am a huge fan of. But what do you like in this one?
Not much. I mean, there's too many pitchers for me to want Sheffield or Kramer here. I like Santander at 3,900, 3,400, and Trey Mancini, for whatever reason, really cheap on FanDuel at 3,100. So those are the two bats I like in this game, but I think there's too much to take too much out of this game, if you know what I mean.
And that's a big important thing. In a 12-game slate, cross games off that you don't like. Just do it, get it over with, make it simpler for yourselves. And FanDuel definitely screwed the pooch on this slate when it comes to pricing overall. DraftKings, over the weekend, they sharpened up a little bit. The outfield still has value, but the rest of it's gotten better. FanDuel's a little messy. I will say this much, though. This kind of game with bad pitching in tandem yards, big fan of. Watch the weather. I've heard there's some potential rain, but not a lot.
Yeah.
But I love this kind of game and this kind of ballpark with two bad pitchers. You got Mancini. You got Santander, like you said. Maikel Franco went deep on Sunday. He's 2,700 on FanDuel. He's like 38, I believe, on DraftKings. So you get some value there as well with Franco. He's 39 on DraftKings. So look at those kind of plays. Check the lineup because you will get some value. Last but not least, if you're looking for an Uber punt, $2,500 on FanDuel, 34 on DK. If you're like deep entry GPPs, Jose Marmoleos is first base outfield eligible, and he's been showing a little bit of power. So only in your deeper tournaments, go check out Mr. Marmoleos. It makes me want to think of Lady Marmalade, but that's a whole other topic.
Sing it, Bubba. Come on.
No. Lady Marmalade. Okay. See, just because Joey P's not here doesn't mean you guys don't get singing on the show.
That's right.
Yankees at, and please keep listening. Yankees at Jays. We do not have a total on this one, but let's just say the Yankees are probably heavily favored. Yes.
Yeah, the pitcher was a big question mark in this one because
Toronto's game got rained out on Sunday.
Toronto got rained out. So FanDuel posted their prices early. They had Ryu as the starter, who was supposed to be, but it's going to be Robbie Ray as the starter now. So it's a little bit different. And obviously, you want to buy most of the Yankee bats when Robbie Ray is out there.
Yes, Robbie Ray versus Garrett Cole. Cole 11,000 on FanDuel. He is a little cheaper on DK, but not much. 10-7. Obviously an elite spot here, but it is in Dunedin where the ball is flying already. Yeah. So are you willing to take the chance on Garrett Cole with all the other options we have on this slate?
Yeah, I think Garrett Cole is never a bad choice. You know what I mean? It's he's kind of like Samuel Adams, always a good decision, right? So I'm good with going and paying up. I mean, you have 12 games on this slate, Bob. There's more than enough price fixes you can find to get a high price pitcher in here. So yeah, I think I'm okay with rolling out Cole.
Yeah, I don't mind it if you can afford it. You can definitely do it. There will be value, as you said, when it comes to the bats on this slate. But you already hinted at it. The Yankees bats, big spot here. They are priced up a bit because of the situation, obviously under the Yankees. But there is some value. What are you seeing when it comes to New York?
Yeah, I mean, Jay Bruce, pretty good, 4 for 12 with a double and a homer in his career off of Robbie Ray. Aaron Judge at 4,100, 5,700. Aaron Hicks, 4,200, 3,000. Clint Frazier, 4,026. Great deal there. DJ LeMahieu, I'm willing to pay up for 5,500 and 3,600 as well. So those are the Yankee bats. On the other side, Vlad Jr., 3 for 7 in his career off of Cole. He's 3,600 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DK. And then Bo Bichette, just for the potential savings here. I mean, $5,000 on DK is still pretty priced up, but only 3,000 on FanDuel because he is going up against Cole. Those are some prices I think I might be willing to pay even against a good pitcher.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good contrarian play. I love the Yankees on FanDuel because you get some good value. Like you said, they're priced up on DK, but even a couple other values I like a lot. Gio Urshela started heating up over the weekend, hit an absolute bomb on Sunday off of Michael Wacha. He's $2,400 on FanDuel. He's 42 on DK, so they kind of got it right there. But 24 on FanDuel is just wrong in so many ways when it comes to that play at his positioning. Then I still think like Aaron Hicks and Gleyber Torres are also some pretty nice values on FanDuel. But Yeah, Yankees.
You got Glaber's got to get rolling here soon.
Yeah, it's killing me. Like I was like 50% Hobby, 50% Glaber. Hobby's doing his thing. Glaber not so much.
Let's go, Glaber. Pick it up.
Got to work on that one. Philadelphia and the Mets don't have a total on this one. Chase Anderson, Peterson, and we don't have a total here because Philadelphia just wrapped up their Sunday night game. But you can have some fun here if you choose. I'm avoiding the pitching, but what pitching and or bats do you like?
Yeah, I don't like the pitching here, so that's gonna be a no from me, dog. But
Yep.
The outfielders here, I mean, Nimmo 3 for 6 in his career against Anderson with a double and a homer. Two of those hits are extra bases. Jose Peraza, if he gets in there, I don't know if he would, but he's 6 for 21 in his career off of Anderson as well, with a double, a triple, and a homer. 286. So he's 2,800, 2,100 real cheap. So if you check the lineups before and he's in there, not a bad cheap buy, especially if you are going to go with Cole or another expensive pitcher here. But Hoskins is hot, 4,600, 3,900. Love him. Dom Smith at 44 and 31. Like that price. Alec Boehm, super hot. You know, whether he touches the base or not, he gets the runs. 3,800 and 3,100 respectively. Gene Segura, 32 and 23, and Didi, 4,200 and 2,600. These FanDuel prices are super cheap, so I'm liking them a lot today.
Super cheap. Love Reese, 39, like you said, on FanDuel, 46 on DK. The Didi price is ridiculous because he mashes lefties. That's like his thing, lefty crime. So 26 on FanDuel, and he gets overlooked because people see lefty. You mentioned Gene Segura, 2,300. That is just ridiculous. And then the one thing I'll say is everyone's going to focus on Philly in this game. So if you want to go some Mets action, I don't hate it. Like Nimmo's cheap. Dom Smith 31, and then Conforto's 3,000, and McNeil's still really cheap. I don't like where he's hitting in the order, but he's still very cheap. So you can have fun in this game. It could be a potential game stack if you want to. And on the DraftKings side, even there, like Conforto's only 37, Nimmo's 36, so you can get away with it there as well. I don't mind this one at all from a DFS standpoint. Texas, Tampa Bay, Dane Dunning coming off a nice start his first time out against Glasnow, total 7.5. Glasnow 10-4. Waiting on that FanDuel price because they screwed that one up. But Dunning 66 and 77. Glasnow is an interesting GPP pivot, don't you think, Bogman?
Absolutely. Yeah. Glasnow is he's just been so solid so far in his first two starts. So this third one against a Texas team that's just doing okay right now. I'm
just got hit by Musgrove over the weekend. We forgot to drop that at the front.
Yeah. We didn't even mention the Musgrove no. Absolutely. The first one in San Diego history. How could we have forgotten about that? Yeah. But that was I think it's because we're both NL West fans, so we block out anything good that happens to the Rockies or Padres, or for me, the Giants and Dodgers, of course, as well. But that was awesome. And the Rangers are struggling right now. Unless your name is Nate Lowe, you're not hitting very well. So 3,900, 3,200 for him, I think is a decent buy. But I mean, Randy Arozarena, it really doesn't matter what his price is, but it's 5,000 on FanDuel, and it's 32 or 5,000 on DK, 3,200 on FanDuel. And the guy, he's just turning into what he was in the postseason last year. So he's a buy pretty much anywhere in any stack that you want to build. Joey Wendell, 4,800, 3,200. I like. Willie Adames is a nice cheap option at 2,500 for FanDuel, 3,900 on DK. Austin Meadows, 4,800 and 3,500. He is heating up too. So I like, those are the bats that I like for this one. Outside of Randy is just a buy anywhere.
Yeah, Randy's he's heating up. He's so hot, as they would say with Hansel.
Like that Hansel.
I love Glasnow in this spot because Toronto does have scary bats. It's in Dunedin, so I could see the argument for and against Cole. Glasnow in a much better situation here. Much better situation. Pitcher's ballpark in Tampa. And then if you're looking at Tampa Bay, I think they will be a little, maybe not so popular. 12-game slate won't be as popular, but DK-wise, you can have your fun mixing and matching there as they're kind of the usual mispricings, but overall they're kind of priced up like Margot's 3,400 on DK. But when it comes to FanDuel, where I would look to go if you want to save some cash outside of the Arozarena call that Bogman had, Brandon Lau is 2,900. Manny Margot's 28. You mentioned Adames, but just that Lau and Margot spot right there, I like quite a bit at those price points to save some cash on this game. Next one up here, Miami at Atlanta. Alcantara versus Yanoa, because Yanoa, it's not going to be good.
Oh,
but you had to know that was coming. You had to know
that was lame. How about that?
That's what we're here for. Dad joke 101.
Oh, God, you and Joe love those.
Alcantara's 8,500 on DK, 9,500 on FanDuel. Quite the price discrepancy. A 6K on DK, and of course he's not priced on FanDuel because FanDuel. They still have Max Fried, so don't be fooled on that one unless they pull a switcheroo in the midnight hours. But it's supposed to be going on Monday. With that all being said, is Alcantara any interest to you?
Yeah, I do like Alcantara a little bit, but I don't know. I like him, but I don't think I'm going to own him in too many spots. I think there's other pitchers that I like more on this slate, and we'll get to them a little bit later. But look, you can buy Acuna is hot right now. He's $6,000. That's expensive, but you can buy him. I mean, who doesn't want Acuna in your lineup? I think I would rather have at the price point. I think I'd rather have a Rosarena, but for $1,000 cheaper on DK. But you can definitely buy him. Freddie Freeman hit another bomb tonight, 5,300. So I like him too. Aussie Albies at 4,500, 2,800. He's going to heat up at some point. Jesus Aguilar hasn't brought out the power yet, not the boomstick, but he is hitting well. 3,300, 2,500 for him. Miguel Rojas should be in the lineup. 3,600, 2,600. Starling Marte, also a good option. 2,800 on FanDuel. He's 3,000 more on DK at 5,800. So don't know what the deal is there. Did I screw that up? No, I didn't.
No,
I went to double check it. Why is he 2,800? I'll take him all day.
Yeah, no, that Starling Marte should be in your cash lineups and in tournaments if you're stacking, but at worst a cash game play because that price tag is just erroneous on all accounts. But Alcantara,
I guess it was supposed to be Max Fried. I think that's why. So
it could be. I'm going to say FanDuel just screwed it up, but yeah, it could be. Starling Marte, I like that call a lot. If you're looking at the pitchers, Alcantara could be a good SP2 in cash if you're paying for Glasnow or Cole. You could pair him together and make a cash lineup. If you want to be different in a tournament, you can. It's just I think you're going to want to get a cheaper guy to go with the big dog if you want. But he's definitely in play because there's a lot of swing and miss with Atlanta, but they are starting to heat up. You mentioned Freeman, Acuna, Albies even went deep on Sunday. I'm not looking to stack the Atlanta bats, but I can see the appeal. I do like the Miami side of things. You mentioned Marte on FanDuel. Jazz Chisholm's $2,500. He went deep over the weekend. Jesus Aguilar's 25 as well on FanDuel. And you can and Corey Dickerson's only 23, usually leading off. You look at DraftKings, Aguilar 33, Chisholm 33, Dickerson 31. That's like a nice little three-man stack if you want to get different on this slate because Miami will get heavily overlooked like they do more often than not. All right.
And a stack this big, of course they are. So
yes, exactly. Cubs at Milwaukee, Alzolay, Peralta. We saw this matchup last week. Total is 8. Peralta struck out the world. Can you do it again? Are you jumping on the train? 7,700 on DraftKings, 7,600 on FanDuel.
Hell yes. This is one of those guys, like you said, already has done it once this year. So Chicago not getting a ton better right now. I think they had 4 or 5 hits tonight. So still the lowest batting average in the league by a decent amount. So, I mean, look, Wilson Contreras is pretty good against Freddie. He's 2 for 6 with a double, but outside of that, he's cheap. 2,900 on FanDuel, 4,700 on DK though, because you have to buy a catcher. So I don't know, but I like Travis Shaw, Keston Hira starting to heat up as well. 4,300, 2,500, 4,000, 2,900 for Shaw. So, I mean, I like the fact that, Hira has moved over to second base and started hitting again. Maybe he's dragging that first base into his brain with him to the plate. So now that he's back at second, he's starting to hit it. So I like Hira in this one a bunch.
See, people, first base, this isn't for the fat, lazy guys. It's complicated.
That's right. Ask Mark Grace. He'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's just drunk. I love Peralta. I'm with you here. I will admit, though, if you want to be contrarian, no one's going to roster the Cubs against Peralta. And all it takes is a couple home runs because he is going to throw a lot of fastballs. So if you want to go there, you can. They're still expensive on DK, like you said. So it's kind of like usually you want the contrarian stack you can afford. It's a little expensive still. But if you want like a little 2-man stack or something to be different, I don't hate it. Because I'm a big Peralta guy. But he's going to be heavily, heavily owned at his price point at $7,700. So that's your leverage in a big tournament. Smaller tournaments, cash, don't worry about it. But big tournaments, the Cubs is one of your biggest leverage spots today. And with that being said, I'm not going there, but I don't do big tournaments. I do like the Brewers from a little bit. I do respect Alzolay enough, though. So I'm not going to go all in. I like the Shaw call for value. Kane and Garcia are hitting good for value. I would pretty much use Milwaukee for value plays tonight, outside of Peralta, obviously, on the mound. I'm not going all in. There's other spots I'd rather attack on this slate, as they say, than the Brew Crew in Chicago. All right. Washington at St. Louis. This is just a pitcher's duel. Eric Fetty, John Gant. Do you want any pitchers here, Bogman?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
that's
look,
what you like on this.
there's not even Fetty's not even on FanDuel, so because they thought it was supposed to be Strasburg, I guess. So you can't even buy him. But no, I don't want any pitchers here anyway. No, thank you. Pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
And John Gant only went 4 innings his last time out. So how long is he going this time? Who knows? Fetty might go 5. Who knows? This is a fun one for Bats, Bogman. It's in St. Louis. I'll give him that much. But like Juan Soto obviously is in play. Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, Trey Turner at 5,400, 3,900. Hernan Perez has been getting some playing time, 3,000, 2,000, super cheap. And he's 3 for 5 in his career off of Gant. So that's some decent numbers. Nolan Arenado, 5,300, 3,900. Tommy Edman at 5,100, 3,100. And Carlson is 3,300 on both for some reason. Yeah, so I'm going to have Carlson in a ton of lineups. So, yeah, those are the bats that I like in this one.
Yeah, on DraftKings especially, maybe not on FanDuel because there's other values like, for crying out loud, Marte's 500 less than Carlson. But in cash games on DraftKings, you plug Carlson in at $3,300. They've moved him up to 6 now. That he's starting to hit. They're slowly moving him up. It's like that game it's like the climber game on Price is Right. He's going to get there. Yeah, it's going to get there. But Carlson at 33 on both sides is criminal. On FanDuel, Edvin at 31 is really, really nice. The one thing I will point out, there's rumors that Josh Bell, Kyle Schwarber, that are going to be back. And if they don't need to practice, like the reports were the offensive players might be able to come right away. The pitchers need to do a sim game. We'll see. Bell's 25 on FanDuel. Schwarber's 24 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, Schwarber's 42, but Josh Bell is $3,100. I
need him back out there. I knew he was going to be back early this week, but if it's Monday, I would be really happy. So let's go.
They could be rusty. I get it, but at those price points, keep an eye out for that stuff. That could be some serious value on the slate. It could also be popular because we're not the only ones probably paying attention to that. Angels at the Royals on this one. We got Cobb versus Bundy. Or no, Cobb. It should be Cobb because he got rained out on Sunday. I guess that's up in the air depending on what site you go to. Against Brady Singer. I'm not using Cobb. If Bundy's in, I'm intrigued against Kansas City.
I think it is going to be Cobb. I think they announced that.
I'm with you. So Cobb versus Singer. Any interest in the pitchers? We're going straight bats here.
Straight bats for me. Straight bats, homie. 4,700 and 3,100 for Walsh is one I like. 5,900, 4,000 for Cool Whit Merrifield, one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. Love Whit. Otani is also swinging it hot. Going to skip his start because of blister, so we don't have to worry about him pitching at all. Just take that bat. Love it, 4,500, 3,700. And then Michael Taylor, 3,500, 2,800. Cooling down a little bit, but the price I still like. So those are the bats that I really like in this one.
Yeah, this is a game I don't mind target. I like a lot of games here. It's really weird because it's either a high-price pitcher or bats for days. Love Walsh in this one, like you mentioned. Very affordable on FanDuel at 31, and the DraftKings still not even that bad at 47. So he's a guy I'm looking to target. People don't play Shohei Ohtani that much. I'm just going to throw it out there. I know he's pricey, but it's like people go, oh, I'll just play Mike Trout instead. Okay, I'll take Ohtani at lower ownership. Sounds good. Right. So we go that route. But on the Royal side of things, because I'm not a Cobb fan. I'm very clear about that. Carlos Santana went deep on Sunday. He's 28 on FanDuel. So you get some nice savings there. And on DK, he's usually pretty darn affordable as well. He's 42. So I don't hate that at all. So I think the Royals is one of the nicer, quote-unquote, sneaky stacks on the slate against Cobb.
Sneaky.
Yes, very, very sneaky, sir.
You underestimate the sneakiness.
Sneakiness. So yeah, I think I'm gonna look for some Royals as one of my sneakier stacks on this slate and see where that one goes. Cleveland at the White Sox. This one intrigues me. We got McKenzie making his debut on the season against Carlos Rodon, who looked absolutely outstanding. Problem is DK has him at 9,400, FanDuel at 83, McKenzie's at 92, FanDuel at 75. I like both these pitchers, but I don't know, Boggs. It's gonna be hard to pull the trigger on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to have one of each in a lineup, but I'm not going to stack shares. So, if you want to get a Rodon in, he looked so amazing in his last start. He struck out 9 against Seattle. I like that. McKenzie, the thing you got to worry with McKenzie is the guy that has an innings limit.
Yep.
He's clearly got a pitch limit too. So I don't think, I think I'm going to let it get a little deeper in the season before I have too many shares of McKenzie. So probably going to be a no from me, dog, for the most part on these guys.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off on McKenzie. That's for sure. Rodon, I'm not paying 94 on DK. That's too much. But on FanDuel at 83 on the one pitcher site for a tournament, I'm okay with, because I think if he can somehow squeeze 6 innings out and get you the quality start, I think the win is in play, and he should get his fair share of strikeouts. So at $8,300 on FanDuel, I'm intrigued. With that being said, I kind of respect both pitchers enough to not go full stacks here. Do you like some bats?
There's a couple that I like. Abreu is just hot, 5,600, 4,000, not bad. Jose Ramirez has picked it up to 57, 4,100. He's expensive, but you can pay for him. If Luplow's leading off again, especially in a 12-game slate, 3,400, 2,700, nice cheap option. Franmil Reyes 44 and 3,100 as well. Those are the bats that I like in this one.
All righty, let's go to the next one on this slate. The Detroit Tigers at the Houston Astros. Casey Mize, Zach Greinke. Mize is 6,100 on DK, 62 on FanDuel. Greinke 10-2 on DK, 98 on FanDuel. It's hard for me to pay for Greinke on DK with Glass now at 10-4, and I'm just not a big fan of Greinke to begin with. Are you a fan of either pitcher in this game?
Yeah, I like Greinke, so I'm a fan, and I like him in this game. He does offer limited upside, of course, but he does have a real high floor. So great cash game option for Greinke, absolutely in this one. And Detroit not hitting very well yet. So I think I am going to roll out Greinke in some cash games for sure.
That's a good point. In cash games, I could see the appeal there. Glasnow has a ceiling that I'd rather have, but for cash games, I could see that appeal. That's a fair argument. I'm looking to target Casey Mize, though, with some Houston Astros bats, and I will admit Kyle Tucker at 34 and 4,100 respectively, 4,100 on DK is criminally cheap, and there's some other really nice values in this game when it comes to both teams if you want to target Greinke, but I like the Astros. What do you like in here?
Yeah, I like the Astros too. Altuve, 5,300, 3,700 is a good one. Carlos Correa, 4,600, 3,200 has been super hot. You already mentioned Tucker. If you do want to go against Greinke and pay, just look for some deals. Robbie Grossman, super cheap, 2,900, 2,600. Akil Baddoo, who is hot like that Hansel, 3,600, 2,500 right now.
Yeah, I love both those calls, especially Grossman. Even though we talked about Greinke in cash, I don't mind Grossman in cash. I played him at like 2,900 on Sunday, got you like 12 points, which is outstanding for that price point. He just gets on base, does the little things. That's what you're looking for in cash. A couple more games to go to here. Oakland at Arizona. Bassett versus Bumgarner. I'm not playing either pitcher. I'm just not going to go there.
This one makes me so mad because Oakland seems like such a good lineup to tear apart, but not with Bumgarner on the mound. He has not been good enough for me to pay for him in anything. So no, thank you.
And I'm just going to say it. Ramon Laureano's 34 on FanDuel and 38 on DK, and he is very, very hot right now. Kana is cheap. He's swinging a good bat. I like those two especially. Anything else you like in this game from either side?
Yeah, I really like Christian Walker right now. He's had some professional ABs. The 2 games I went to, I think he saw 60 pitches. It was ridiculous. Like he kept fouling off, get a base hit. So, sooner or later, one of those is going to turn into a bomb. Same thing with Eduardo Escobar, still cheap, even though he's hit a homer 4 straight games, 37, 3,200. This is how he comes. He comes in streaks. And also, Timmy LaCastro was 4 for 4 the other night, 3,200, 2,400. Super cheap option. I like him as well, especially hitting leadoff for Arizona right now. So those are bats I like.
Yeah, not the worst thing in the world. Last game, nightcap, Bay Area style, Cincinnati at San Francisco. Miley versus Sanchez. Miley 71 and 7,000. Sanchez 69 and 72. Sanchez on 2 pitcher sites at $6,900 has me very intrigued against the Cincinnati lineup, especially in that ballpark. I think he's a great SP2 on DK. Any interest in the pitchers in this one?
Give me the Swamp Thing, man. Give me Wade Miley.
Really?
Look,
Giants have been hitting lefties.
He was great in his last start. It is in San Francisco again. The Giants have been hitting lefties, but they haven't been hitting overall. So they've been winning games like 4-0, 1-0, 2-1, stuff like that. So
games, yes.
Look, hey, win games. But
the one thing I'll say though is Miley's been having in recent years. Miley has had reverse splits also, so people keep that in mind when you're stacking the Giants.
Right, exactly. So I like Swamp Thing when he has it together, and he has it together right now. Now it'll probably be 5 starts the whole year that he has it together for. Look, I've watched Miley for a long time. I went to go see him in the 2012 All-Star game. That's how old Wade Miley is, right? So he's been around for a while, and he's got some rough PVBs here because playing for the Diamondbacks, he faced the Giants a lot, and Brandon Belt has tore him up 5 for 10 with a triple and a bomb against him. Buster Posey is 10 for 26 against him with a homer and 3 doubles, hitting 385. So there's a long history there with these guys. But I like the red side as well. Moustakas 4,900, 3,300. Suarez 4,900, 3,000. But if you do want to pay up, there are some really cheap Giants bats. La Stella is 2,200 on FanDuel. Solano 3,000, and Ruff, who's been hitting well, 3,400 and 2,700. So there are some good values on the Giants side, but I think for a tournament, I might get a little sneaky with Wade Miley.
No, it's fair. It's fair because the Giants are the Giants. I do like Solano 34, Belt 3K. He's 23 on FanDuel. You mentioned them. Slater is always popular if he's leading off. He's been kind of struggling a bit, but it's a good game to find a couple value pieces or a small value stack if you so choose. Speaking of that, we can recap things real quick, get your home run call, get you out of here. Remember to rate, review the podcast, go subscribe on YouTube, all that awesome stuff. Bogman, if you're starting out a cash game lineup, who is your cash game pitcher this evening?
I'm going to go with Cole, but I also like Greinke. So those are going to be my two. I think I'll probably pay up more for Greinke just because he's cheaper, but I got to get Cole in at least one. The upside is too high.
Yeah, I like that Greinke call the more I think about it in cash. For me, you always get Cole if you can. If not, I don't mind Greinke as a nice pivot there. In tournaments, though, I'm going to start with Glass now, I think. Where would you be starting?
Glass now is a good place, so I'm with you on that. I like Peralta, too. So yeah. Peralta is a decent one, and Wade Miley, of course. Those are the three that I like.
Yeah, Peralta on both sides, I don't mind. I like Sanchez. I don't mind the Miley call. I get it. But on FanDuel, I'll remind people, Carlos Rodon in tournaments at 83 is appealing, is very appealing. Who are you stacking it up with tonight? Who's your top stack?
Oh, the stack here, I think Philly. I'm gonna like because they seem to be a little hot. Tampa Bay is a decent one, especially with the prices that you mentioned before. Maybe I think the Astros are a decent one as well. So those are the ones that I like. Yeah,
I like that Astros one quite a bit. But for me, I think my top one of the night is going to probably be the Oakland A's against Madison Bumgarner. I apologize, Bogman. That's not a slight to you. It's a slight to Madison Bumgarner. So yeah, I'm going to really go there. I like Philadelphia. And then I think that first game, if the rain stays off, a game stack of Baltimore, Seattle with those two pitchers on the mound.
That's a good call, too. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
We
talked about it so long ago.
I know, so long ago. Last but not least, home run call. Remember, they're going to tweet out our home run calls of the day. Give it a nice retweet, share it, all that good stuff. And if one of our guys hits, you get some free swag. Bogman, who is your home run call today?
Give me Stanton. Stanton against Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray is just he's in the zone too much. I don't trust him at all. He may only get one shot at it if Robbie Ray gets chased early, but give me Stanton.
Yeah, I don't mind that one at all. I think I am gonna go with it's too chalky, but give me Juan Soto. I got Juan Soto going deep. It's just I think John Gant's not long for this world tonight. So give me Juan Soto in this one. It's cheap, but give me Juan Soto. All right, everybody. That'll wrap up another edition of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast. Remember to check out the show, rate, review, all that good stuff. Check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app at LineStar MLB. I'm on Twitter at Pediatric. Bogman at Bogman Sports. See you guys tomorrow night.
See ya.
Welcome to the On Deck podcast. Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support Casey, Bubba, Bogman, and the Welsh by rating and subscribing. Good luck.